Petruța. Welcome to the Brag. It's really good to have you here.
Hello, hello. I'm so happy and excited to be here, actually. Thank you, Leah.
You're so welcome. No, it's really great to be here because I know we spoke months and months ago now. So here we are in the new year.
hmm
You're the
Yeah.
first podcast to be recorded in the new year. So yeah,
Oh, such an honor.
six. Off to a
Yeah.
good start. All right, let's get started with question one. So you've built an incredible career from ASEC leadership to founding Parentool. A platform that's connecting parents with trusted doctors across 50 countries. And La Première Business, sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right, helping entrepreneurs launch their first ventures. What sparked your transition from being an employee to an entrepreneur? And what problem are you determined to solve?
hmm Yeah, I think it's very connected to my life story and my upbringing. Because I was born in a very small town in Romania and in a very, very normal semi-toxic family. Um, and living there, I couldn't feel that t- I couldn't express myself fully.
Mm,
I felt like I was like in a sort of a cage, but I could feel inside that I'm meant for more. um, I know that we talk about the fact that I used to have all kind of images in my head and fantasies about how I'm going to go to different events and I will be a speaker on a stage. My mom told me that I used to say that when I will grow up, I will be an entrepreneur without having anyone in my family or in around me being entrepreneurs. So
yeah,
I couldn't have that. I didn't have that word for in my vocabulary, but I don't know how
yeah.
that showed up when I was a kid and when I was playing with my dolls and everything. So I think that was actually the birthplace of what turned out to be my transition from
Yes.
employee to entrepreneur. um, I came to Cluj, is a big city in Romania for university, and it was like a new world opened in front of me. I was like, oh my God, I can do so many things. I was so thirsty for knowledge, for discovering myself. In ISEC, it was my first time when I met international students, people that were speaking English. And for me was, oh, can I touch you? It was such an amazing experience. Um, but still I had in my mind the classical receipt, like, okay, you go to school, you get a good job, you buy a house, a car, a husband, and that's it. But during the employee years, I've noticed that a thought kept coming to me. It was a thought saying there has to be more to life,
Mm,
and it kept repeating in my head. And I was like, no, 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 why? Oh, no, I have to follow these steps because these are the safest things to do.
mm,
My self-esteem at that point was so very low, so I couldn't see myself like an entrepreneur. I was like, who do I think you are and I
yeah.
am to do that? But this thought kept coming back. There has to be more to life. There has to be more to life. And an idea kept coming back.
Mm,
Parentool.
yeah.
And again, I tried to push it away, but at some point I was like, okay, you know what? From what we know, I only have this life. So I want to be able to look back at it and say it with my full chest that, okay, I swear I lived it and I lived it in my terms. And at that point, I was like, okay, YOLO. I put my Delulu vibes, how they call it right now, and I started this journey. And what is at the core of everything? Actually, I think 5 days ago or so, it
Yeah.
clicked, everything I did for the past 10 plus years in my mind. And the core is that because I come from a family that, as I said, semi-toxic with their struggles,
Yes.
and my self-esteem was so, so, so low. Um, I worked a lot on understanding my own story and why I behave in some ways, why my critic inside my head is so, so loud. Uh, and what I came to the conclusion is that most harm in the world is done by people that were raised in environments that weren't that good for them, or that have a very negative inner narrative. And my belief is that if via my work or what I do and the products that I build, I help people come back home to themselves and help them understand their stories, help them make sense of everything that is in their lives. My hope is that they will find the acceptance, the empathy, and that snowball effect will grow into creating a better place, even though it sounds maybe naive, but that's my thought process.
Amazing. And that's exactly what people can do, right? With your tool by
Yeah,
finding the right.
exactly. With Parentool, at this stage, they have this possibility to talk with medical professionals or psychologists, consultants, and so on. And at this stage, we are solving the first layer
Yes.
by reducing the anxiety, the fear, by giving them the tools and the answers to make an informed decision. And that's what they are telling us, that they feel that peace of mind by only by having the app, not
Yeah.
necessarily using it, only by having it. But I want to go further to the next layer and bring some extra functionalities in the app to help parents emotionally regulate
Mm.
themselves and put that pieces of the puzzle about their stories and how their own childhood is impacting the way they interact with the kids. And La Primo business, which would translate into my first business.
Okay.
There I want to, I mean, it's kind of a community towards that. I want to build it for first time entrepreneurs. And there I bring this mix between, okay, strategy, tactics, how to grow, because you need that information, but also again the emotional layer of the entrepreneurial journey, because we don't speak that much about the struggles, about how lonely it can be sometimes, about how many internal buttons it pushes, and how you discover
Yes.
so many new things about you that you never thought about before.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's so true. Sure, this is exactly everything that I'm going through at the moment. So I'm just gonna fix this light a little bit because the light changed so much outside. There, a little bit
Yeah,
better.
it's good. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's good.
yeah, no, this is exactly what I've been going through as a parent myself. My eldest is 5, nearly 6. My next is 2, and we're actually having a third, and then it stops there.
Wow, congrats.
But yeah, I've been going on that exact journey. We've been just going through processes of getting diagnosed for ADHD and autism. And then it felt really wrong to do it this way, but I decided that I would take care of myself first, because I knew that if
Hmm.
I was going to be able to take care of my daughter and then my son,
Yeah,
I needed to first look at myself and figure out what was going on there. What diagnosis did I need? What support did I need? And then um, from there, figure out, you know, how can I be a better parent? And it's crazy how just by taking that first step of looking at yourself and becoming a better parent,
yeah,
already things become a lot a
Yeah.
lot easier, even though
My
it feels wrong.
my story with Parentool is actually something that shocks people all the time because I'm not a parent yet.
Yes.
But the idea was born from how I like to call it, from my inner child,
Yes.
from how I ended up feeling by witnessing a mother that was struggling so much
Mm.
and a father that was struggling so much. And I know that the narrative and everything that exists on the market is very child oriented to, and the parent somehow ends up being blamed for absolutely everything. But I feel like nobody's taking a step back and saying, okay, but that parent is a human.
Yeah.
That parent has its own struggles. We need to go there. I mean, my thought process is that we need to go always at the core, at the
Exactly.
beginning of the
Yes.
story, to be able to really make the changes that we want. So that's why, ooh, my goosebumps. That's why I'm super passionate about this because I know what type of impact is going to have on the lives of the children when the mother, when the father are in a better place. Not perfect place because it won't, I don't think is possible, but when they are more regulated, when they can see themselves, when they don't have to project onto the children, and when they can see, okay, I'm a separate person and I can leave him live his life, her life, and be his own person without making it a story about myself and how good or bad I am as a parent and so on. I'm super passionate about it, and I hopeful I hope we can do it through
Yes.
Parentool or maybe something else. Who knows?
I love
Yeah.
that. But you're going to the root cause, which is amazing, and
Yeah.
which, many solutions don't do. Many solutions just go for the band-aid effect.
Yeah.
Because it's
It's
easier and
easier
it's
to
faster.
sell.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's
There you
easier
go.
to sell. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is
Oh,
a very hard mission, but oh well,
yeah.
it's worth it.
It's amazing, and I can just resonate so much, I guess, because of the stage that I'm at right now in my own life, and having small children, and having a daughter
Yeah.
who definitely has autism but not diagnosed yet. Um, and just the challenges that come with that.
Mm.
But I think this is something that's being talked about a lot at the moment, is that we're realizing there's a lot of neurodivergent people out there that are so high masking. It's
Yeah.
um it's not easy to recognize, but then it's coming out in different ways, and it's being branded
Yeah.
as negative behaviors versus actually just struggling.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you say.
Exactly. Exactly. I think my biggest, I don't know the word in English, but what frustrates me the most is that we just put a label and on people. You
Yeah,
are narcissist, you are so and so, you are but without taking a step back and thinking, okay, but why? It
mm,
doesn't excuse necessarily the
yeah,
behavior, but I want to understand why.
yeah,
And what I do often, although might be weird, is that I'm looking at Netflix. It has a series about prisoners,
yeah,
and they do interviews with them and so on. And I think 99.99% of those people are telling horror stories
yeah,
about their childhood,
yeah.
about abuse, about violence, and
True.
of course it impacts them. I mean, let's be humans. Let's bring empathy back. Let's look a bit under the surface and not be so, I don't know,
But it's
separate
true.
in a way.
It's true, and the messaging starts so early, because even
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching my daughter. She's watching cartoons, and the cartoons are saying, someone who steals, they're bad. It's bad. And I
Mm-hmm.
explained to her,
Mm-hmm.
as like, because some 9 times out of 10, someone who steals they're not bad, they're desperate.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is why they're committing a
Oh,
crime in the first place. You need to, like you said, look
yeah.
beyond the action, and
Yeah.
understand the why.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then let's talk about your wins. because that's what I'm here to do, get you to brag.
Yay!
I think it's incredible that you've grown Parentool to 50 plus doctors across 50 countries with thousands of parents using it, and it's received zero funding from competitions.
Yeah.
How did you make that happen, and what moment made you realize, whoa, this is really taking off?
uh, I think actually my Delulu vibes, my that fire within me that I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I will make this happen. I received so many. I mean, we've been to competitions and so on. We actually won the social impact award, but it was a very small amount. I mean, barely paying the taxes out of it, but nothing major.
Yeah.
Um, and we received a lot of no's, and this won't work, and parents won't pay, and blah 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 blah. And I used that as fuel to no,
Mhm.
I will continue. I believe in this. I will make it happen. Um, my my thought process behind not going after an investment, and actually is still something that I'm still questioning, should I do it, should I not, was firstly because I wanted to launch at least an initial version and see the feedback, and being able to be more in a like equal position with potential investors. I didn't want to go to them, mainly being a woman in this field
Yeah.
that we know it's still a very misogynistic place to be. um, I was thinking that, okay, I'm a woman, I'm young, I'm not a parent. If I'm going to them just with an idea, with no proof, no nothing, they most probably will laugh in my face. They
Mm.
will feel like they are somewhere somehow above me.
Mm.
And I wanted to be able to go and raise funds at the moment when I will be like more in equal. Okay,
Yes.
look, I have this, you can get this out of it, you have this, and to be able to negotiate further, and not only related to money, but also becoming like a real partner, not necessarily just putting some cash and expecting a 10x. Plus, I understood early on that the business model impacts the priorities.
Yes.
And I was thinking that, okay, my priority, my focus, I want to be the parent and the experience of the parents. I don't want to spend time sending all kind of reports and stuff and focusing on pleasing the investors and blah 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 blah. I wanted to be able to focus on the parent, and that's why I decided to go with bootstrapping. It's still very challenging.
Yes, of course.
I'm considering to change the business model and a bit adjust the experience in the app, because we are still struggling financially. But it gave me the autonomy, the
Mm.
freedom to make decisions according to my vision, to filter and select who we are working with. I mean, for me, maybe, I don't know, it's not that cool if I'm saying this, but for me, my values, my principles, and what I truly want to achieve with this product and project or business
Yes.
are more important. I keep saying that who I am becoming in the process,
Yeah.
for me, is more important than numbers, money, and so on.
Yeah.
All that are important as well,
Of
but
course.
who I am becoming is more important.
Yeah, it's an impact business.
Yeah, yeah, it's so close to my soul. I mean, I don't know, it feels like my baby.
It's your first baby,
Yeah, it's my first baby. Yeah,
apart from your cat.
yeah, yeah.
Well, but this
Exactly.
is exactly why we need more women entrepreneurs, because generally speaking, and look, I know diversity goes far beyond women,
Hmm.
and that's always been my goal with the brag, to go beyond that at one stage. But for
Hmm.
now, I'm focusing on women in entrepreneurship, because we need more women to be successful
Yeah.
in entrepreneurship, and we need
Yeah.
investors to start understanding that investing your money is not just about getting a return, it's about
Yep.
creating the impact we want to see within the world.
Yeah.
And I think
Exactly.
that is so, so, so important. And just because, you speak in such a way that's talking about impact instead of talking about prioritizing numbers, um, I think that should become more acceptable, if that makes sense,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
rather than always focused on this one type of profile, which is like all about numbers, numbers, numbers.
Yeah.
Let's get as much money
Yeah.
as we can, because as a society, as a species, as
Mm-hmm.
human beings, we need to, start looking at entrepreneurs for solutions
Yeah.
to some of the world's biggest problems, but we need to fund those.
Yeah, exactly. I think they have to understand that also working with a female founder is a totally different game than working with a man. Um, because we actually work, I mean, we think differently. Our biology is different. The way we make decision is different, and it's not bad. I mean, neither going with a man, neither with a woman, but they have to understand that we think and we behave differently, and the businesses we create are different, and that money, numbers, KPIs, and everything they are interested in can coexist with impact, with creating like a very positive change. And I think it's important to be aligned in values, and that's why I had some conversations last year with some people that were interested in investing in us. But for me, it's important also to click. It's
Oh, yeah.
important to feel like we can be a partner.
Yes.
I I won't go only after your money. I'm
Mm,
not interested only in that. I need you to feel part, and for you to resonate with the vision, to resonate with the mission, to be there with me at, I mean, I don't know how to say this in English, but to be to sail the boat towards the same direction in a way.
completely.
And that's why I also started La Primo Business, my first business, because I want women to be more, I mean, to be reminded of their power, to be reminded of the fact that, okay, you have this one life. I mean, in 20, 30 years, you will look back and you will be like, ah, damn it. I didn't do it because I was afraid. And I hope that they can take my example of someone that started with nothing in a not very privileged family,
Yeah.
and that I could still create something out of passion and resilience. Yeah,
Exactly. And that drive just to
yeah,
make it
yeah.
happen.
That
Um,
fire. Yeah, I
yes,
want to awaken that fire inside them that you can do it.
yes.
Women are amazing. I mean, they are amazing.
Exactly. Just get it done.
Yeah,
Um, it's not hard when you're dealing like with what you said before, dealing with all of your own internal critics and voices, and then you're going up against a system that's working against you. That's been my experience. Like, I take accountability for my two failed startups now. It's been twofold. It's been a combination of my own confidence and my own self-belief, and then also a combination of not having the right support systems and me putting time into the wrong places. So let's say funding bodies or potential investors or mentors who just wanted to talk to a startup, but had no intention of really connecting you with two of the most important things that you need as a founder, which is money and customers, right?
yeah,
At the end
yeah,
of the day. So it's that's been my learning from those two experiences, is that, like you say, that you need to have that self belief, but also the awareness of the systems that you're working with, and being very, very careful where you spend your time, and always asking, is this
yeah,
going to bring me money or customers? That's
yep,
number one,
yep,
to keep your startup alive. So it's
yep.
it's yeah.
Yep. And whose feedback you are listening to, and
Oh,
whose
yeah.
stories and limitations you are taking upon yourself, because we are so good as humans at projecting our
Totally.
own things onto other people, and just because it wasn't possible for you in that specific way, it doesn't mean it won't be for other people. I mean, I'm more pro encouraging people to try, to fail, to try again, instead of saying, 100% it won't work. Because if we are meeting someone like I was, with such a low self-esteem, for me, at some point in my entrepreneurial journey, it had become like a hunt for validation from business people, from angel investors. And I was like,
Yes.
whoa, wait a
Yes.
minute. I didn't start all this journey for this. I
Yeah.
mean, the only validation that I need are from our customers. The only
Exactly.
validation I need is from seeing pictures with baby hands and
Yeah.
mothers saying, "Oh my God, Petruța, thank you for creating this." Again, goosebumps. But it's the psychology, our own psychic.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be such stopper in our journey, and
So true.
yeah,
But that's
yeah,
why it's so
it's
important to identify those champions, the supporters that are really going to be there for you. And I have to
yeah.
say, like, we were so lucky from our last startup experience. The investor we had was just amazing, and he's not going anywhere. He's a friend.
Oh, so
He's waiting
nice.
for us to start the next thing. And and there was one particular funding body as well I had some contacts with in Ireland, and they're the same, we're still in conversation, and they're just like, we're
Awesome.
gonna be here when you're
Yeah.
starting your next thing. And I think that's was a huge learning for me, was realizing who are the real champions that are really gonna have
Mm,
your back and really support you. Um,
yeah.
and then who are all the time wasters in between. It's not that they're bad people, it's just that
Yeah.
they're just they're just
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
really. I guess they
They
have their
have
own
their
paths. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. They have their role in your journey, and that's also some. I mean, what you said about your investors, I think that's something that I'm also looking for.
so
Uh,
important.
Rather than, I think maybe it will be a shift, hopefully, in this business paradigm. Instead of investing in business potential, invest in the human potential, invest in the founder, in
Yes,
the human behind. And
yes,
at least for me, if someone will invest in me specifically, the way I know now that my brain works, I can generate so many business ideas. And if I find that perfect balance between I believe in this, and I'm in love also with the customer and with the problem that I want to solve for them, I know that I have the resilience to make it work
yes,
and find solutions and give them their money back in return, so much, while also creating like a relationship and maintaining a connection. And I hope we will be able to see this more often in the investing space. But yeah, who knows?
yeah. No, it's possible. We didn't get a huge amount of money, but this person was there and they invested, and they would come once a month. They would bring us lunch to our house because they knew we were poor founders.
Can I borrow
After,
them?
I know, but it was just like after that meeting, we would always feel so motivated. Like we would just want to
Wow,
keep
so
going,
nice.
and I
Yeah.
think that's what's so important. And it's not that he wouldn't ask difficult questions at times. Of course he would.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's a very experienced person. He is a very
Mm-hmm.
experienced person, but yeah, it's just that just to have that real
Yeah.
human. And I think that's why I asked him to be a mentor to begin with, because that's how it started, the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
being a mentor, because I knew he was just a really solid person, as well as having
Yes.
that,
Awesome.
that background that we needed.
Yeah. And I think, especially with talking about low self-esteem, it's such a healing thing to have another person that trusts your
Yes.
vision, that trusts what you want to build. And it's, I mean, for me, it's amazing to. Uh, it was shocking with the team of our specialists, with our medical professionals, that they said, okay, I talked to you and I felt your energy, I felt your passion, and I said, okay, I will trust this woman to do this thing. And for me it was such, wow, okay. So
Yeah.
there are other people that are seeing what I'm seeing, that are ready to invest their time, their knowledge, their brand into this, and it's awesome to be that supporter, to be that cheerleader
Yes.
in a world that wants to bring you down as often as possible. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so important. Look at us. Where are we at now? Okay, we're at question 4. This is the great thing about this podcast, it's you have a conversation. It's nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, so your in between workshop on identity
Mm-hmm.
shifts during transition sold out with 30 people before you even shared the full details. What made you realize that this was a need that had to be addressed? And what's the transformation you're helping people achieve?
Mm-hmm. This one was such an interesting experience because I just felt like, okay, YOLO. I have this idea for quite a while in my head, and I just posted a story on my Instagram, and people were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." Whoa, shocking! I didn't expect that. But it started out of my personal need, because I think what we are still not talking enough about is the inner transformation that you are going through, and every time you make like a big shift,
Yeah.
or a smaller shift, but like big transitions, how I was from employee to entrepreneur, it was like a completely new identity. At the beginning I was so lost. I mean, I was like, my definition of entrepreneur was like Steve Jobs level.
Yeah, yeah.
And having this standard, I was like, whoa, wait, I'm just a kid in Cluj, in Romania. I mean, I won't reach that level. And it was such an intense journey of finding myself, finding my rhythm, understanding who I am as an entrepreneur, what I want. So many challenges. And during this transition, I saw a pattern that I'm going through some specific phases, especially one was very, very, very hard, very dark.
Yeah.
Now I know that it's called the void,
Okay.
where I couldn't relate anymore to the employee version of me, to the relationships that I had previously, to the way of thinking, but I couldn't somehow understand neither who I was now. I mean, what's with all this thing? I mean, I was like, okay, entrepreneurship, freedom, but I kept waking up at 9 a.m., working like an employee and stuff like
Yeah.
this. So it was a very weird place. That's why I called the workshop In Between, where I was with one side of my brain in the old identity and another one in this new identity, and it was so hard to manage because there were all the existential questions kept coming up. Am I made to be an entrepreneur? Was it the right choice? Was it not? Should I keep the product? Should I not? The other ones, because comparison, are growing much faster. We are not, and so hard. And I started to look online to search for information to understand what's happening with me. I went in therapy. I was like, what's happening? I don't understand anything. And I couldn't find too much information about it. And since I went through all the stages, it said that there are 7 stages that you go through when you have like this type of identity shift. I was like, wow, this is something that more people need to know about. And my intention with the workshop actually is not to give any miracle tools and receipts, because there are none, but rather to bring a little bit of okay, so this is what's happening with me. I'm not the only one. These are the stages. I can understand better now when to make some important decisions, when to not. Because what's happening during these stages are that most people, especially in the void, they give up on everything and they go back to what feels more familiar for them. So they make maybe sometimes irreversible decisions. And I want to bring them that groundness and understanding on what's happening.
I love that. And yes, can completely relate. It's it's true though, like when you leave being an employee and having a certain group of friends around you, and you just go into a completely different type of life.
And
You know?
as mother, when you go from being a woman to having now this role of being a mother, when you move to another city, when you start a new career, either the small ones that are not that small, making a transition from being a people pleaser to trying and experimenting with some limits, with understanding, okay, this doesn't sit right with me, and being able to say that and to make decisions towards that direction. It's such an interesting theme, and
Yeah.
hopefully the workshop will go well. It's this Monday.
Oh, it's this Monday. Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And my plan is, if it goes well and if it's really helpful and based on the feedback and gathering more, to do it more often, and maybe also develop a program or something to be more helpful for people.
cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Really cool. And look at us, we're already on to the last question.
Oh no.
So what is next for Petruța, and what is next for Parentool and Première Business? Where do you see your impact growing in 2026?
That's a question I
I
keep
know
asking
this.
myself lately. I think what is next for me personally is to keep being authentically myself and opening myself maybe even more, and gathering the courage to speak in my own voice and how I envision things, although they might be not very in sync with what I see on LinkedIn, Substack, and so on. Something clicked inside me. Last year, I was invited to be a TEDx speaker.
Amazing.
And that speech was such I think it closed like a circle. And right now I feel like I'm moving towards something. It's not very clear for me towards what, but what is calling me to do is more being more open to life and going more from this identity that I started to build and integrate. For Parentool, I want to have like Parentool 2.0, to launch a new experience, bring some team members on board, because we had some changes lately, and I need people to bring this vision to life. And for my first business, La Première Business, I want to launch a community space, because right now it's Instagram, LinkedIn is not the same vibe. And I have many programs and workshops in mind. One of them is part-time entrepreneur. I want to launch something for the ones that are still employees, but they want to build something on their side and they don't have yet maybe that inner decision that, okay, I will go full in with entrepreneurship, but they want to see and experiment. And
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about it because
Cool.
I've been there, so I think it will be helpful for them. That's it, and just live life, and I want to reach that point where I would be so in love with my life to be like bursting with excitement to live every day, because I think it's worth living, worth enjoying, worth experiencing.
Yeah, completely agree. Live life to the full. I think that's what
Yeah.
entrepreneurs do, really, right? Unless you
Mm-hmm.
trap yourself into a business that you really hate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as we usually like to do at the end of this, is now I just do some bragging for you.
Oh,
I think it's incredible what you've built. Not even being a parent yourself, but taking your own experience and that empathy that you've showed your own parents and the struggles that you identified that they had, and taking that personal struggle and then creating something meaningful and completely bootstrapping. I mean, I think that's incredible. It's not easy in the slightest. That has an effect on your bottom line, on your livelihood. But you've been able to take that and have 50 doctors around 50 different countries with thousands of parents using the tool, which is, I think, just absolutely incredible. And then creating that real impact, getting parents messaging you with those happy messages is just really, really cool. And then what you're doing with Première Business as well, and helping entrepreneurs there, that are that bit behind you, and helping them take those first steps, which I think is just incredible. There's nothing like that, right? You're taking exactly all those things you've just learned and you're
yeah.
passing them on to the next generation of entrepreneurs, which we need to see more of. So I think that's incredible work that you're doing. And yeah, just really excited to see what's happening, and you're recruiting for 2026 as well, which is really cool. So big congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It feels so nice and weird at the same time. uh,
Strange, isn't it? It's kind of
yeah, it is.
like a therapy session for entrepreneurs though.
So nice, so nice. Yeah, it's
Oh,
I that's why I told you I love the concept of the podcast,
thank
because
you.
I think especially as women, we tend to shy away from
Yes.
recognition, from seeing the true impact on everything we build. So it's so nice to have someone to come and say, "Oh, reflect back." Thank you so much, Leah.
You are so, so, so welcome. Yes, exactly. This is why I started it. We've had social conditioning for a very, very long time, to make us believe that we shouldn't share our wins. And so it's time to change that, and
Yeah,
yeah, and just,
yeah.
help people feel good about all the incredible work that they're doing, incredible work that you're doing, and just make people smile.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you
Thank
too.
you.